Sponsored by Chartered Financial Strategies. You are now watching Tax Bites.
Welcome to another episode of Tax Bites. This is another episode in that series of getting more out of your tax professional. And in the last episode, part one, I kind of explained there is a wide spectrum of emotions or mental states, or we're going to call it, that clients engage the tax professional industry in, from this is trivial, shouldn't be a big deal, to oh my gosh, this is going to be a big problem. And that can drive a lot of misperceptions in how one should engage a tax practitioner, an enrolled agent, CPA, lawyer, whatever it is in the tax situation you're dealing with. And that becomes leads to things like, impromptu appointments should be accepted. It's just a quick question, or I'm dropping by out of emotion. I just want to figure out now what it is. To not even being prepared for appointments, not having notes, not having an agenda, even showing up in a situation where you're just kind of asking questions off the top of your head and taking no notes, which is very common, to then having follow-up instructions and leaving with no notes, and then not even having any interesting recollection of what was discussed in the appointment or 5-minute phone call or whatever it was. All that just becomes a more chaotic experience versus scheduling the appointment, making time for the appointments you talked about, and taking, and managing your obligations afterwards. So real quick, the next 3 points are: one, work within that practice's procedures and protocols and tools. And this is a very detailed business where one form miss can create a problem. So we build a lot of procedures, checklists, tools, things like that to verify and validate what's happened on prior returns of the client, reminding the client, hey, you typically had this. So there's a lot of detail we go through to provide you information so that you're able to bring as much possible in a short time to work and get the work product, the tax return, whatever, done. So working within the tools and procedures of the practice are really a big deal. Just as one big example, in today's world, we use portals in the tax industry. A portal for you to give documents to us securely, and for us to download them and, again, send back so you can download. A lot of clients will go, don't use your portal, use mine, the client. I want to use the Google Docs. I want to use Document Drop, or whatever some of these others are. Sends an invitation to the tax professional, and now the tax professional has 30, 40, 50, or 100 different little logins to other people's Dropbox. Worst case, it's the same login, and you've got multiple clients crossing over and run a risk of dropping documents in somebody else's Google Docs or whatever, because now you've got to manage all that, and that's just not how a practice or a business operates. So those are real simple things that clients will expect, and really drive a lot of tension, confusion, dissatisfaction, and they don't realize it. The second thing is urgency. Now, I can go into a whole issue or discussion about, is there really ever a tax emergency? And yes, there can be, but it's going to be through procrastination of the client, typically. Not opening an IRS letter and letting it push aside, missing deadlines, procrastinating the situation. So a lot of those situations are either self-created, even situations where we're going to refinance a home, and the mortgage broker is going to want tax returns either prepared or copies. And coming on Friday to get a return done by Monday is a self-created emergency. So urgency issues are rarely the cause of the tax professional, and driven by other things that the client creates, or at least in perception it's urgent. I just want this off my plate now, so please get this done today if you can. Those kinds of requests are self-inflicted urgency, and those come and create disruption in the tax practice, disruption in workflow. All those things get disrupted and lead to a tension in the third thing, which is pay a fee for the services being rendered. Anything from scheduling an appointment, maybe an appointment fee, to coming in to review something as an appointment fee, or as another fee. Preparing a tax return has its fees. Following up and chasing paperwork could have a fee, as well as urgency. If we don't have planned work, we have no reason to open space or open time on our schedule for this urgent work. We may need to charge you a fee to work the weekend, work through the night, whatever it may be. And so urgency, just like if it's urgent to take a pet to a vet, or see a doctor, you got to go to the emergency room instead of a doctor's office. Those have premium fees tied to them. Urgency should do that. So as a recap, we are comparing these interactions with a tax service or tax practice to that of a doctor, chiropractor, a vet, whatever, and a dentist. And these are things that are no different than that, in those interactions. So hope this has, again, been a bit insightful. It's gone fast, and I mean it to be very tight and quick and not drag on. So again, like, subscribe, share, comment, and have a good day.